For over 50 years, Kirby Morgan has revolutionized commercial diving. From masks to helmets and everything in between. Dive into history with us as we step into the Dive Locker. This was the final version of the clamshell helmet. It was made of fiberglass and hinged at the front. It had a face seal and oral nasal. The rear of the helmet was free flooding. This helmet was used on the Sea Lab project and was featured on the front cover of Life magazine in October 1968. 12 were manufactured in 1968 for the U.S. Navy and were colored red. 8 were manufactured for the commercial diving market and were colored yellow. Several dry versions were tested but were not successful. The wet head version had limited success. There are minor differences in the attachments and equipment on several of these helmets. Using this helmet, 4 U.S. Navy divers, Sam Huss, Bud Aune, George Powell, and Goose Langdon, made a successful dive to 850 feet off the Santa Barbara Channel Islands in 1970. I seem to remember that we never got any money for the R&D on these, so they were not as good as they could have been. A little R&D money and a few weeks would have made these much better. We sold these hats at $1,300 each. It was around this time that the Spook Group and Spook Divers started turning up in the shop, special military divers. To get this project done, we needed to expand and to raise money. We were always short of money. We got mixed up on a bad business deal, and I left the company around the middle of this project. Bev was able to salvage the project and kept the company going. With Kirby gone, we found ourselves doing more and more military projects. The projects were interesting, but cut into our commercial products development. The band mask KMB-8 was developed out of the KMB-7. We could not keep up with the orders and do development work, so I decided to sell the product line to U.S. Divers and continue the company as Deepwater Development Corp., doing development work on diving equipment. U.S. Divers started manufacturing and marketing the KMB-8 band mask with my supervision. This concludes this episode of the Diving into the Kirby Morgan archives. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Dive Locker.